and I don't think I'll take Arizona in this series. I seem to be pretty good luck if I go the other way. All right, let's start here with the preview. We'll probably do this again tomorrow because we have obviously another show to do before we throw first pitch, which is tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Let's start with Eovaldi and Gallen. They'll be the two starters here. Let's obviously discuss Texas that struggled against Houston as far as home field is concerned, losing 3 straight games. A little layoff for the Rangers, less so for Arizona. But I don't think that will be a factor. The Rangers had a layoff before the Houston ALCS, and they won that first game in Houston. Remember, they had beaten the Orioles on a Tuesday, and they didn't play that first game on a Sunday. They seem to recover there okay. Arizona's in a perfect scenario. They won the 2 games in Philly. They had 2 days off. Little workout today, and then, of course, tomorrow. So that should not be a problem. We've had plenty of World Series where teams go in there with a 6 or a 7-day layoff. The 07 Rockies, the 06 Tigers. I'll give you many examples who came out a little flat, out of rhythm. That should not be the case here with these two teams. I think the big picture is, listen, they're both flawed teams. Both have weakness. They're not the 98 Yankees, and which makes it fun. So as a result of that, I think you're going to see a long series. We all know about Texas's bullpen, spotty. We all know about Texas's depth of pitching. Scherzer, who knows? Spotty. We all know about Arizona. Not a great offensive team. We know Arizona necessarily, their depth of pitching a little shaky too. So as a result, you got some teams that have some weaknesses on both ends. You also have teams that have done the improbable. Nobody thought that Texas, losing that last game to Seattle to be a wild card team after they led the division basically all year long, would win 2 road games in Tampa, win 2 road games in Baltimore, win the first 2 games in Houston, and then come back and win 2 more down 3-2. Think about it. You got 2 participants in this World Series who were down 3-2 and had to play games 6 and 7 of the ALCSs and the NLCSs on the road and live to tell about it. I have to look historically, and it's only going back through 69 anyway, and 84 and 85 as far as best of 7s are concerned. I don't know if, in fact, that's ever occurred. So you have teams here with a lot of mojo getting into this series. And, of course, high wire acts. Texas in Houston. I know the Astros are bad at Minute Maid, but they were the defending champs. And who would have thought that Arizona, and you can raise your hand now if you're a media member, nonsense. Nobody thought Arizona would win 2 games in Philadelphia, 6 and 7. Whether what I said, who cares? Nobody in America thought that the Diamondbacks would win games 6 and 7 in Philadelphia, both games, to win the pennant. So that is a good sign, too. Mojo for both Texas and the Diamondbacks as we get ourselves organized here. I don't think any team is going to be out of it if they're down 2-0 or up 2-0. Arizona was down 2-0 to the Rangers. They came to the Phillies, and they came back 1 of 4 or 5. Texas was up 2-0 against Houston and had to go back to Houston to win 2 games to win the series. So I don't know even if the first 2 games are that symbolic, because I saw Arizona bounce back from 2-0, and I saw Texas be in major trouble when they were up 2-0. So I like that aspect of the series. So what I'm telling you is flawed teams, mojo, perfect rest, and obviously, scenarios where the first 2 games did not determine a winner. I think you're going to have yourself a long. I remember they played in the course of the year too. Recently, Texas was in Arizona in September. They didn't play well at all against the Diamondbacks. I think they got swept in that series out in Chase Field. So I think you have yourself the makings of a long series that might go the distance. This is going to be a weird series nationally, and let's just discuss this because everybody's going to be talking about this tomorrow. All right, going in, you got Texas and Arizona. Not many people know about the Diamondbacks. You have no East Coast representation, so we all know that. So that might take a little while to spur the country as far as interest is concerned. But World Series, look at Atlanta and Minnesota back in '91. World Series are about length and are about competitive games. If you have length, which I think very well you might with these 2 teams, and you have competitive games, why wouldn't you have competitive games? I mean, I know that Texas's offense can blow people out. They did, of course, Game 2 against the Orioles. They did just recently in Game 7 against Houston. But, you're going to have some competitive games. Arizona's got a good bullpen here, so you're going to have some competitive games. So if you have long competitive games, if you have a long series with competitive games, I don't care if the teams are from the moon and Saturn. People are going to watch. You're a sports fan, you're going to watch it. That's all there is to it. You're a sports fan, you like sports. Yeah, we know there's football, and nobody knows that more than me. But if there is some tension and there is competitiveness and you got length, you will have a heck of a World Series. And I think you're going to have both of the former. So if you have that, you're going to have viewers here at the tail, middle on the tail end. Listen, I'll give you a prediction tomorrow, but I am a lot of things, but I'm not a bandwagon jumper. So I am not going to jump on the bandwagon. So there you go. You think Arizona wants me to pick them? They'd be an idiot if they want me picking them. They seem to do well when I pick against them.